Hey, welcome kids to episode 7 of Toy Photography Bomb, and that is BOM, which stands for Best of the Month, sans the T, of course, because then it would be bottom, which is what myself, Trevor, hi, 1/6 shooter, and a guest toy photographer will share with you our selections for the best toy photography from the community that we saw in February 2024. Now, just a few things up front. This is not a contest. There's no prizes. There's no voting for this. This is simply our choices based on what we came across in our feeds and in the Toy Photography Bomb Instagram toy photo page, which you can tag Toy Photography Bomb. Again, this is the best of the month stuff, so we certainly don't see everything, so we'd love to know more about stuff that we've missed. So if you see something that you think should be included amongst these incredible photos that you're going to see tonight, please tag us or tell them to tag us in the photo, and we'll take a look at it on our feed. Like I said, we're always open to seeing some new stuff. Just make sure it's your best stuff. Don't tag every photo just in the hopes that we might, see something we like. We'll check out the account. If we see something we like, we'll check it out for something else. Maybe it's not, maybe we see something else that we like of yours. Yeah, so you can do that. Toy Photography Bomb on Instagram. Yeah, thank you. So new Instagram account. Nope, that's that. I'm just looking at my notes here. So this is not a critique show. We do that on Moz Toy Box tomorrow night, every night at 7 o'clock, every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock on Moz's channel. That's Moz's Toy Box. That's for people who are starting out and want some tips and some help with stuff. A lot of times there's some beautiful stuff that comes across there too. So, but this show is here to simply talk about what makes these photos great. This is the cream of the crop stuff. So we're just going to talk about what makes these photos great, what we like about them. And hopefully, maybe you learn a little something from that as we sort of look at them and break them down. But that's what it's all about. So without further ado, with that out of the way, let me bring our guest on. He started out as, I believe he started out as sort of an astrophotographer, product photographer. He's been a landscape photographer. He's done it all. He's just like that all-around photographer. He's done a lot of photography is what I'm saying. It looks to me like some 7 years back, he dipped his toe into toy photography, and it seems to have taken over for all of that, although maybe I know he has a couple accounts, so maybe he's still doing all that stuff on the side. We'll find out when we get on here. He's been getting some buzz over the last couple of years with his slick BTS behind the scenes reels on Instagram. So we'll ask him about all of this. Please welcome to the show. I'm going to share his tab while I bring him on. Actually, I'm going to take his tab off and we'll see his beautiful face here. Jesse Feyereisen, what's up, man? How's
Trevor,
it going?
how you doing, man?
Is it Feyereisen or Feyereisen? I should have asked you beforehand if it's
Feyereisen. Yep.
Feyereisen,
So I always tell people it's like think of fire rising,
Fire.
but without the G.
Yeah, Feyereisen,
which
is perfect for the show.
Feyereisen. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
There you go.
No, thanks for having me, Trevor. No, I'm glad to finally be on here. I'm so glad you asked, and excited for this opportunity.
Hell yeah, man!
Talk some toy photography. And
yeah,
you've done your homework. It sounds like.
Somewhat. So, I mean, how much of that did I get right? So what did you start out as? How did you get into toy photography, or how did you get into photography? Let's start out with that.
Yeah. So, I grew up I grew up as kind of a video person. I even went to school for television production and video editing and things like that, and thought I was going to go down that road.
That shows.
Oh, thank you. And kind of to keep it tight, I ended up getting a job while searching for a job in school in the AV industry, and I got that job while searching for a graphic design job, because graphic design, I guess, is kind of my main thing, even though I've never really liked that title because I do just about everything, kind of a generalist. But yeah, so I got that job in AV and I really liked it. So I ended up sticking with that for many years. And then at some point we needed photography of the stuff we did. So we did home electronics, we did home theaters and audio video systems and stuff like that. Super fun industry, really cool stuff to do. And they needed
beautiful looking stuff to shoot.
Oh yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So that was kind of in the realm of like my start to like architectural type photography. But yeah, so they needed someone to take the photos in house, and I'm like the graphics guy. So I'm like, yeah, I got a camera. Let's start doing this. And at
That's
the
how it
time,
happens, man.
yep. And the very first digital camera I started playing on was an old Sony thing that I don't remember what the model number was, but believe it or not, it actually shot on 3.5 floppies. It was like a 1.5 megapixel something.
Wow, I
Big
forgot that was
clunky
a
square
thing.
Oh, it was crazy. Yeah. For all the young kids out
Ooh.
there, the save icon you usually click on, that was what we used to call 3.5-inch floppies. It's usually the save icon nowadays. So yeah, so I started doing that. And then I started to really fall in love with photography and just picking up the hobby and doing all sorts of things. I upgraded my camera. I think back then that was like on a Canon T3i or something, TI, something, whatever it was back in the day. And then started experimenting with all sorts of genres, going out and doing some wildlife stuff, doing some art, like landscape type stuff. You mentioned astrophotography. I tried diving into that. That's a lot of fun, very challenging, very technical. Turns out it takes place at night when I like to sleep. So I didn't stick with that too far, but yeah. And then I also did a little portrait stuff and product stuff for the things we were doing. Portrait as in doing like the employee headshots at work and things like that. So I never really did photography like as a paid job, but I did photography as part of my job.
Yeah.
So
Same.
yeah. So then, so then, like you said, a couple of years ago, I kind of stumbled upon toy photography. I was doing all my experimenting, and at one time my wife got me my first Hot Toys. It was Darth Vader. It was the Return of the Jedi one it was in the mid 2000s anyway. So I put that in front of the camera as like a product shot. I'm like, oh, I'm doing a product shot of this toy. Took some pictures of it, and I'm like, man, that looks kind of cool. That's pretty cool looking. So I just started, I have a small collection of things at the time, and I started grabbing different items and putting them in front of the camera, and like, this is really cool. And then I started going online and saw the entire community that's out there. Like, oh wow, this is a thing. People are doing it. So, okay. Dude. So I started ramping it up and then getting a little bit of traction. Lots of people were starting to like what I was doing. I'm like, okay, this is cool. And then in 2021, so this was just after COVID, my wife was like, you should start entering some contests or something, or doing sort of that thing. I'm like, nobody's going to celebrate toy photography. Really. I don't think photographers don't take that seriously, do they? So sure enough, I've been a big fan of Kelby One and what they're an online photography educational program with Photoshop photography, stuff like that. And every year they have an annual Photoshop World. So I went to Photoshop World in Vegas. What was it, in 2019, I think it was, and discovered that they have user submitted like a community, like photo contest stuff for best in show and macro and product and all this stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. I'll try that next year. And then 2021, I think it was, I entered a couple photos. I ended up placing with a Stormtrooper shot in the macro category. And then believe it or not, I ended up taking best in show at Photoshop World 2021 with a shot of Mandalorian. And I'm like, oh, I couldn't believe it. I was so humbled and in shock. I still can't believe it to this day, but that really solidified my confidence, I guess you'd say. Like, okay, this is a thing. People can get into this. People will accept it, and like, let's keep going. Let's have some fun with this. So
it's funny. Like, I wonder how many people's origin stories with that, because that's mine exactly too. Like, I just started collecting figures, taking pictures, and posting them on forums, just like figure forums about the figures. And I'm like, you know what? This looks pretty cool. Exactly what you said. And it's like I could take, I know Photoshop. I could probably put these guys in backgrounds and stuff like that. And then I went online and I'm like, oh, this is a thing. I didn't know this was a thing. And I envy kids now who are coming into it and kind of collecting and like knowing that this is probably,
and already have a great camera phone that can take amazing pictures.
You have a great camera phone. Like, look at that. I mean, right off the bat, right? And then just all these people to and when I started out, there was a lot of little guarded things and things like that. There were people kind of secretive.
I could totally see that. Absolutely.
And things. But everybody's opened up, and you yourself, let's bring your
let's go for it. Yeah, I'm pretty much an open book. I mean, I learned a lot of my stuff from seeing other people's behind the scenes stuff. So excuse me. Yeah, so I have no problem sharing what I do and answering questions. And
this
one's a little tricky because oh, sorry, go ahead.
There you go. That's great. Like, yeah, we looked at this on Maz's, and like I was looking at it, it's like, wow, he's got perfect little drops of water in there. I looked at your
Yeah.
BTS, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, smart. You took out the
So
big drops of water. Perfect.
yep. Yeah. So that's, I mean,
Stuff.
being a solo
You're always gonna get
operation.
them.
Yeah. So that's like what you don't actually see is me with the camera remote in one hand and a spray bottle of water in the other hand. So
Right.
I'm back there
Right.
taking the actual shot, squirt, 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 fire, squirt, squirt, fire,
Right.
fire, you end up taking
Try it
2
off,
dozen shots
try
or
it
whatever.
again. Yeah,
Exactly. And then and ultimately I think I ended up compositing 3 or maybe 4 images. I think there was a clean plate
Mhm.
and then possibly 3 various splashes to kind of remove the water here, add, make sure the water's here and all that kind of stuff.
That's a great technique, and I know that there's a lot of people who are intimidated by Photoshop, but there are some very simple things you can do in Photoshop. It's not an automatic thing, as we say all the time. It's not press a button and it's done, but
Oh, for sure. Yep.
it's not too far off with a couple of tutorials that you could get just a
Yep.
better looking, take the photo out of the camera. Again, layer a couple layers, real simple masks and some color editing and some, brightness contrast, and you got a better photo right off the bat.
Absolutely.
So,
I was just going to say, like, I know, like you said, a lot of people are intimidated by Photoshop, but I encourage a lot of people to use Lightroom or Lightroom Classic. That's actually a great starting point. It's not as intimidating as Photoshop can be, and it can do all the raw processing, color grading. There's a basic patch and removal tool, not as good as Photoshop's, but I think a lot of people are
right there. That's what Photoshop or Lightroom can do for you. I honestly find Lightroom a little more, I don't know, maybe it's because I've been on Photoshop since version 1, but like Lightroom is a little more, not intimidating at this point, but more.
Well, do you use Camera Raw?
Complex. Oh yeah.
Camera Raw. Then you're already 80% of the way there in Lightroom. Because if I'm getting my history right, someone at Adobe actually did tell me that Camera Raw was the predecessor to Lightroom. So Lightroom was actually born out of Camera Raw, turned into the develop module in Lightroom, and then Lightroom added all the cataloging features and stuff. So, I mean, if you're using Camera Raw, you're halfway there to using Lightroom as well.
Yeah, for me, Lightroom becomes a cataloging and basic editing tool. Like that's where I do my basic raw editing. Your brightness, your contrast, your color adjustment, any kind of
your raw
processing, things like that. Yeah, raw processing, and then take it into Photoshop and do the final, any effects that you want to do, layering, masks and things like that. With,
the heavy lifting. Yeah. A great analogy I heard once is Lightroom is like putting on makeup. Photoshop is plastic surgery. But I thought that was a pretty good.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I mean, I guess, but I mean, I hate to, when I say things like that, or if you say things like that, it's like the ACBA crowd gets a little, but Photoshop doesn't need to be, I'm going to add like effects and like you did here with lightning, you know what I mean? Behind,
behind
Cliff here. Like, it's like, it can be this, but if you want to do the ACBA way, you can put some lightning behind on a screen or something like that if you want to do it. But if you want to do this kind of stuff, you can do it in Photoshop and it looks great. Like that's the difference between a raw shot and a post-process shot, which looks incredible. I mean, it's incredible. It's beautiful.
No, thank you. I agree with you. Yeah, I try to remind people that when I say Photoshop or when people say Photoshop, it doesn't always mean all, like you just said, all those fancy effects. It doesn't mean lightsabers, explosions. It doesn't always mean all that.
Right.
Sometimes it's just lifting the shadows. Sometimes it's just taming your highlights. Little things like that.
That's it. That's what I try to tell them. I'm an admin over there now, and I tried to kind of instill that in them and like, listen, we got to stop saying, oh, is this photoshopped as if it's a dirty word. It's not a dirty word. It doesn't mean you have to add effects. Like you said, it could just be simple,
just basic processing. And that's not exclusive.
And things like that.
Yeah. That's unfortunately not exclusive to toy photography. That's a photography in general thing. Each genre has its own crowd exactly. It's a tool. And even beyond that, it's a workshop. I almost say, it's a workshop with tools in it. There's so many things you can do in there.
Have you encountered it in other forms of photography that you've done? Have you encountered any snobbery about?
There's I mean, there's
a lot of editing you can do in landscapes now, which that
was the first thing I was going to bring up. There's definitely a purist set in landscaping where like, nope, I want to take the picture just like I saw it. And I'm like, that's fine. That's fine. That's if you want to do that, but I don't know if you don't learn post-processing a little bit of it. I just really think you're leaving creativity on the table. You're not realizing its full potential because the camera's just a data collection device. It's just turning light into pixels, into electrons, so it's not like, and if you don't if you don't edit and you shoot JPEG, you're just letting the camera do the editing for you. When we shoot raw, we say, nope, just give me the data. I will do the processing. I'll add the contrast, the sharpening, the saturation, all that kind of stuff.
And it's to the nth degree, but it is what you did in a dark room back in the day. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yep. That. You know what I mean? Like you do it in a dark room, then you take it to somebody who could airbrush some things. You know what I mean? So it's you've got stuff right in front of you now without having to be a specialist in anything. It's a magical world.
Yeah. Speaking of landscape, I mean, everyone always brings up Ansel Adams, but I don't think a lot of people realize that Ansel Adams was huge in the darkroom. He was huge into dodge and burning.
Oh
you can go online, you can find the notes that he would give to his assistants to like brighten this area over here, darken this over there, and what was that Ansel Adams quote? Shoot, I'm going to forget it now. The negative is the score. The print is the performance. So it's basically saying like, the negative is the writing. That's that's the foundation of it. And then the score being the performance, to like the post-processing, the giving it character, giving it life kind of thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. It's gorgeous work, man. You get incredible stuff. What is your, I know you've changed up. I mean, you've got a lot of, this is great. You've got you're doing a lot of chip stuff. I love this. This is great.
That's one, if you scroll, I think there's a widescreen version of that as well. Okay. Yeah. I didn't really talk about my past as like a huge movie fan as a kid and things like that. So I kind of think cinematically. I'm kind of a special effects junkie from like the 80s and 90s, the old school stuff, just before, computer graphics and things, and how they used to composite things optically and shoot models and ships and stuff. And so I'm all over the board what I shoot. I kind of don't like to repeat myself too often. If I do a portrait this week, next week I'm doing an aircraft shot or something. And the following week I'm gonna do something different.
Is it
that's not like a hard?
You do that? Okay.
Sometimes it is. Sometimes I just feel like I don't want to repeat myself too often. So I just like to switch it up.
I was more, I have to admit, more experimental, and I'm trying to get back to that. It would be, if like I was into chiaroscura and I wanted to try and do like master stuff, you're gonna see that for like the entire month. You're just gonna what I'm shooting. I'm into it. Not care if you're not, because I am, and
I hear you. Yeah, I think October is the one month where I lock down and I'm like, okay, I'm doing horror this month, but that's one of my personal favorites there, actually.
Little theme, of course. Yeah. Lego. Are you into Lego? How do you feel about shooting Lego?
I think I'd like to do more of it. I've only done a few shots. I don't know why I don't do more. Probably because I don't need another thing to collect, to be honest with you. I loved Legos as a kid, but
that's it. Yep.
I'm spending enough money as it is. I'm trying to buy less figures this year and do more dios and 3D printing. Cut back on purchases a little bit.
You got to take it out. You got to put it together. I mean, if you're just doing the minifigs, then you're good to go. But like, I started collecting all sorts of sets, and I'm like, I just had boxes and boxes of stuff, and I'm like, I'm not going to put this together because I have no place to put it. So
yep, no, I'm exactly the same way. I still go to the store and look at the Legos. I'm like, it'd be cool to have this, but once I build it,
I did buy that Rivendell, and one of these days I'm going to put it together and shoot it.
Oh my gosh, really? Yeah, there's a Lego there's a Lego TIE fighter there next to a regular TIE fighter. If you scroll down a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Right there. That's a Lego TIE fighter. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that looks great. Love that.
Thank you.
It's fun, man, but it's a tricky, especially the minifig, tricky thing to shoot without getting like reflections. I mean, it is very much like, I think the best stuff I see, honestly, is touched up quite a bit. You know what I mean? Like they'll take an arm, like put it off, when you can pull the arm off and have
they like disconnect a leg to bend it in a certain way or something.
Connection or whatever. It looks great. I mean, there's some great Brick Panda comes to mind, some good stuff, but way more processing than I want to do. Not that I can't, I just don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, I also, I mean, along with the Legos, I'd like to challenge myself and do weird, different things. Like I was talking over when we were looking at the alien thing. I'd love to come back to that one too at some point. But
sure, yeah. Which one?
This one? It was one of my very most recent ones. Not that one. I love that one too.
Not that.
It was the Alien Eclipse. Oh, that one.
Oh, this one. Yeah. So this is your astrophotography combined with
so as I just mentioned, getting into 3D printing, I found this alien model or whatever, and I purchased it because I had an immediate idea that wasn't exactly the same as this, but yeah. So I ended up, I have a telescope, and several years ago, I think it was 2016, there was a Mercury transit, which basically means Mercury was coming in front of the sun. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll take some time and shoot that. So if you look really close, it's kind of hard to see on the stream, but there's a little tiny dot where the foot meets the tail.
Oh, right here.
That's actually the planet Mercury right there.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
really cool.
I had those shots, and I had the sun shot, and I'm like, I got to put this together just to say I did it. And then the star field is also like a failed shot, constellation shot, just a typical widescreen or wide angle kind of star field shot. So it was 3 unique shots from vastly different times in my life that I put together into one thing. I'm like, yeah, it's just kind of a fun project to put together.
Yeah. Astrophotography. Now, so I know I see a lot of that stuff. To me, it seems like a lot of it is like, I wouldn't say highly retouched, but there is a lot of, I know that people
it absolutely is. Yeah, because
embellish a lot of stuff because you can't possibly get the stars looking crisp because they're moving while you're taking the picture of the moon.
Well, yep. Then you get like a tracking mount that tracks the stars and stuff. Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. Pretty much, yeah. Every astro photograph you see has been highly retouched. It has to be just because for the sake that our eyes don't see that color. If you look into a telescope and look at like the constellation Orion, or the Orion Nebula, excuse me, in photographs, it has these beautiful pinks and blues and things. But if you look at it with your naked eye, it's just kind of a gray cloud. We just don't see it. So we have to kind of enhance those colors and stuff.
Yeah. Right. Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
I think there's some behind the scenes if you scroll there to see a couple of.
Oh, is there in here? Yeah, hang on a second.
Yeah.
I think you had a BTS on your reels too.
Oh, yep.
So there's
I've been lately. Model. Yeah. So there's the so there's the model. So then I backlit the model, kind of did a high key thing with a light and a gel. Yep. The softbox, excuse me. Yep.
Are you doing flash all the time, or you do flash occasionally?
I'm starting to do. I've kind of settled in on flash. I probably do 50% flash, 50, and then like 25 constant lighting, 25 natural lighting, I suppose. Once in a while, I blend the two as well. I've done flash and constant lighting in the same shot before. Too, but mostly
you're tethering to Lightroom, or are you tethering to something
usually
else,
tethering to Lightroom. I don't always tether. Depends on how lazy I am, I guess, that day, if I just want to do the shoot or if I want to connect everything. But yeah, sometimes it's such a yeah, same with Photoshop too. Sometimes I fix things in Photoshop, sometimes not. It's like, how energetic am I feeling that day? But tethering,
it is nice.
I definitely recommend
a brightly lit room instead of having everything dark.
That's one of the main reasons I do flash, actually. It's because I can work in a fully lit room. Because the flash then just overpowers everything, and you don't get any ambient light. Yeah, so there's the telescope that day. Yeah, so there's the natural shot of the sun with Mercury and a sunspot. And
how much are you so used to now to metering and stuff like that, metering the light, that it's not a big deal? I know it isn't a big deal once you're used to it. I have avoided flash photography because my figures don't move. Unless I'm doing some
so you don't really need to. Yeah,
it helps. And the fog that I use a lot for atmosphere, I don't want to purposely capture, necessarily in trails. And I know you can still do, a wide open, shutter with flash, but it's a little trickier.
Yeah, it definitely. There's some caveats there. Yeah. So, no, to answer your metering question, no, I never actually meter the light.
You just play around. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I've kind of got a system down now where I know, like, my starting settings are usually just ISO 100, f5.6, and then shutter speed of like 1/125th, maybe 1/60th. That usually in most case scenarios gives me a black clean slate, and then I just start adding the lights. I run all the lights on manual, so start the key light at or my key light will start at like half power, and if it's too bright, turn it down. If it's not bright enough, turn it up a little bit, and just slowly build the scene out like that. To your point about the smoke, you do have to be careful with smoke and flash. But it's also kind of a benefit sometimes. Sometimes, like if you use atmosphere aerosol and you shoot it with flash with a high frame rate or a high shutter speed, you actually get the little particles of the smoke instead of the smoke itself, which sometimes kind of in the right scenario looks like rain or snow. So it can sometimes be a benefit, which is kind of neat.
That's the one benefit of it. If you want to shoot rain and you want to shoot practical rain or snow, like you can literally just drop stuff and like you've got it, little potato flakes or whatever you want for snow, and like, there you go, looks great, and there is that nice practicality to that does look good. Ian says, and I remember this from Ian,
Ian
did Astro for years. On multiple telescopes. Definitely gonna have to catch up and chat for sure.
Heck yeah. We'll have to chat about that.
Just go back in the chat before we got to get. It's 8:30 already, but that's okay. We got.
Oh, geez, okay.
We got. No, we got no place to go. But no, I want to talk about all that. Part of this is learning, and part of this is learning about you. And again,
absolutely.
Feyereisen. If you're not following him, it's Jesse Feyereisen. It's right there. It's right there in the crawl, kids, and it's in the description video. So it's right there. We got the Empire Strikes, another great photographer right there. Purple Gang, Dave Orkin, insightful imagery. Mike, also great photographer. Rob Zamora, controversial toys, awesome. I'm not gonna say everybody's a great photographer. Everybody's a great photographer. Like everybody's a photographer. You're all great. I can't stop go through everybody. Curtis Ackerman, Nate Strong, my buddy, great photographer. No Chewing, great photographer. My brother TJ Williams, also awesome photographer. He hasn't done anything lately. You gotta do some more stuff there, Tom. Stephanie Orkin is here. Curtis Ackerman with the $4.99
Curtis
bomb. Take time to add the account shown tonight on your IG. It will make your feed a lot more interesting. Let's go. Thanks, Curtis. Yeah,
true.
Absolutely, man. Curtis has been a kind of a prolific. What's the word I'm looking for? Prophet of the show, for lack of a better word. There's a better word for that. Like he's been telling everybody about it. I really appreciate it. He likes it because he'll add these people to his feed and getting some great stuff. Because I mean, this is what it is. It's the best of the.
Yeah. Curtis is a great guy. Curtis and Jesse were kind enough to have me on there shooting the shelf back in the day. And I blame you guys, Curtis and Jess, for getting me into, and Trevor too, for getting me into Mythic Legions. I'm drinking that Kool-Aid now, and it's another rabbit hole. It's another rabbit hole.
I'm sorry, and you're welcome. That's my
exactly
response to that. Mark R. Jason B. Michael might see something.
Oh, thank you, Jason. Oh, and I just discovered the chat over here too. I had it on.
Yeah, Joe Gonzalez.
I had it on private chat.
William Golden, the Antro ID. I might see something from him. Astro-toy, awesome. Nacho's been on here a couple times, I think, at least once. Major Reaction. Pablo Lopez, of course, been a guest on the show.
Pablo.
Awesome photographer. Jurassic Jesse's here. Red Dog 5, Paul. What's going on, Paul? Great photographer. Benny Torres. And we're getting there. Donovan Button. Ian Saunders, the aforementioned Ian Saunders. Yeah, so we got 37 people here. Cool.
Nice.
All right, we're going to come back to your stuff and some stuff that you're doing later on. Let's jump into this, though.
Let's do it.
We have to go. So we're going to start it. If you like, so I'm just tell everybody right now, if you like Star Wars, you're in for it tonight, man. I don't know why, but there's a lot of Star Wars tonight. It just happens to be that way. It happens sometimes. I'm a big Star Wars fan. You're a big Star Wars fan, obviously, too. So let's start with that first one, which I think was your pick. And I think this is Johnny 1300's second time. I think it is. It is.
Congratulations, Johnny.
And what made you pick it?
Oh, sure. Okay. So I love the shot for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's Empire Strikes Back, one of my favorite movies of all time. So a couple of things I love about this shot. First off, I love his lightsaber effect. He did a great job, not only with the effect, but also blurring it. A lot of people miss that when they're doing effects. I kind of joke around with people, like, to make your effects look good, you got to make them look bad. And that means things like this. It's got to be out of focus. Maybe add a little noise, things like that. Such a great little attention piece of detail there that I love. And another thing that I love about it is it's a scene that we all know. We all know this scene from Empire Strikes Back, but it's a new take on that scene. A lot of people starting out, I see a lot of people recreate shots with toys, which is awesome, which is a great exercise to learn lighting and things like that. Mm-hmm. But to take it to that next level, I love seeing shots like this where it's like, it's the scene, we all know it, but it's a new take on it. It's a new shot. It's something we haven't seen. You can almost look at this and think like, oh, is that a deleted scene? Is that a shot, that we didn't see in the final cut or something like that? So I just love all that stuff, and another reason I love that he's focused on the foreground. He's focused on the helmet and Luke. That's something I want to do more of myself, is not make the main subject a small object in the foreground or something, and then just have the hints in the background. I love all that kind of stuff. So this was kind of a scroll stopper for me. I looked at it. I'm like, oh, that's nice. I like that.
Yeah, we had an articulators episode, which I have to get back to that show, but it was it's now been a couple of years since we did it, that we talked about focus. That was the theme for the show, was focus. And one of the, I think it was the photo I picked, the main subject was out of focus, and it was focused in the foreground. There wasn't even an object there; it was grass. But it
Oh,
was
cool.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and
Yeah.
it's hard to describe, but it was just it made you feel like you were looking at a film still. You know what I mean? It just
Nice.
felt like you were hiding in the grass from this, this maniac.
Was it black and
was
white?
great.
The shot? Do you remember?
No, it was sort of
Okay.
subdued and subtle, desaturated, I would
Okay.
say, either by design or by
Sure,
default.
sure.
I'm not
I
really
almost feel
sure
like I might
on what
remember
color,
that,
but it
but
was great. Yeah, I'll have to show it to you later on. But yeah, everything you said, like it's funny because like one of the first things that kind of took off for me was like I did this scene with Leia confronting Vader on the Tantive, and it was a top-down shot of Leia looking up, over Vader's
over
shoulder,
Vader's shoulder or something. Okay.
and I'm like, this is what I want to do. I want to do different vantage points of scenes that we've seen before.
Yeah. Yep.
And I did
Yeah.
time, and I kind of like moved on to other stuff. But yeah, exactly what you said. I love that. I love when somebody does a different take, a different angle on a familiar scene, like you
Yeah.
said.
It's
Plus,
something we're all familiar with. We've seen it before, but it's also new
yeah,
and fresh at the same time.
different scale figures, which I love. I love using,
I was going to ask about that actually. Yeah.
totally a Black
Because
Series, right? I think he's got
that's
like a
because
joint.
that hip, that looks like a hip joint there. Yeah. And then maybe the chest. Yeah. So yeah, another great
Which is
example.
awesome. I mean, I love that. And you're right. He did a great job. I really like the noise. I mean, the noise is sometimes things that people avoid, but it gives it that sort of cinematic feel. And in certain instances, it adds to the shot, I think. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's one of the first thing I tell beginners is don't be afraid to shoot above ISO 100. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
It's,
absolutely. Yeah,
if you want if you want a technically perfect image.
Yeah.
Yeah. But sometimes technical's boring, I think. So yeah, adding a little bit of texture with grain and noise, I think can.
Right.
Yeah.
So Johnny's been on this before. Great stuff. Beautiful photography.
Yeah.
Great lighting. Just cool concepts. And he's all over the place too. with subject.
Yeah.
He's got Gomez. He's got
look at that.
Society. He's got The Last of Us. The beautiful stuff. Really love his lighting. Really love his takes on like this over the shoulder shots.
Yeah, that's great.
Really good stuff. Yeah, so go check out Johnny 1300 if you're not following him already. Get out there. I think this is I think was in the last month or 2 months ago. I'm not sure. This must.
Yeah, I remember you get that somewhere. Yeah, that's a great shot.
Definitely his second entry, at least his second entry into.
Well deserved.
Congratulations. Cool. All right, our second Star Wars shot. So this is a guy that a lot of people who are Hot Toys collectors are going to know. And sometimes I'm hesitant to pick some of the, the pro jocks, so to speak, that are out there doing this stuff because it's not. I don't know what his compensation from this is. I think generally when you're doing Hot Toy stuff, you get a figure or something like that. But man, he kills it with these things. Like, I always look forward to his shot, blogger shots from BG, because they're generally some of the best, among the best shots. And this one, you had picked one. We'll show that in a second too. I think we had one from him, and I could have interchanged either one of them. I think you just took yours out because you had too many.
Something had to go.
Take a look at it, but I really, when I saw this, the red light hitting it
on the rim of that helmet and stuff. That's so cool.
Just defining it, and just enough light to define the helmet against the background, the catch light in the eye.
I was just going to mention that. I love the fact that the catch light is down, like where the saber would be, not up, like where a studio light would be. That's beautiful.
Yeah, the red light. Obviously, I mean, it's a given that it's
there's a saber out of frame. You're going to have
light, but there's a saber. You know what I mean? And it looks like there is a light source, a small light source. It's not like lighting up his entire forehead or his entire face. Just a beautiful balance of red and blue, which a lot of people try to do, and a lot of people just overdo it or get
Mm.
it wrong. I mean, and he's not really cutting this too much. There is it looks like a key light maybe, or something on his eye that's cutting that blue light a little bit with a little bit of white.
Very well
For the most
balanced.
part, beautifully balanced,
Yeah.
sharp as hell, and just a great crop. Looking right at you, it's spooky.
It is really nice. Really,
It's quite
really nice.
spooky. I'm not sure which one of the ones you
that was it right there. Yeah, it just happened to be that same. Yeah, that was the one that I picked. Yeah, like I love how clean this is. You could there's a couple reasons I love this. You could tell me this was an Annie Leibovitz Vanity Fair promo shot, and I totally would have believed you from the magazine.
Yeah,
totally
it does look like that.
It just
studio-esque, like on set shot of somebody in a costume.
Yeah, it looks so great. I love it. And I love the old school lightsaber on this one. And the reason I say old school is because there's a specific way they did lightsabers back in the original trilogy. And this just harkens back to that to me for some reason. I don't 100% know why. If it's the thin part of the red, it's not over glowing like the lightsabers do now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And it's not all red, you know what I mean? And he's kind of got a touch of it on the chest.
Yep. Just a hint.
And he's not doing it. And I see a lot of that. Like, and I think, he does a lot of post work. So I don't know whether or not he like light painted this little bit of red here or snoot on it or something. So yeah, it does, right?
And the reflection of the helmet.
There isn't any bleed, right? I mean, just a little bit here and here. There's not a lot of bleed. A little bit on the leg, which tells me maybe there is a source over here, and on the hands and stuff. But, really nice, subtle, and not overblown.
Yeah.
So,
and I love the helmet reflection too. If for anyone out there who's shot Vader's helmet at like 6 scale or bigger, that helmet's a beast. It reflects everything.
And everything looks like a softbox. So if you can either manipulate it or change it or move it, it kind of gives a natural. This almost looks like there's a mountain, and the skylight.
It looks like the rocks that are surrounding him in the background. Kind of. It looks like it could be just off screen.
Exactly.
Yeah. Reflective stuff is tricky. Yeah. Beautiful stuff.
Alex does most of his stuff. I would say maybe 100% of his stuff. I guess at this point is blogger art hot toys. So if you're picking up a hot toy and you want to feel good about it before you get it in hand, just go to Alex's page. He will, no matter what it is, like even if it's like, I know I've heard a lot of heat about this one, he'll make it look good, and you'll be like, yeah, I can't wait to get it in hand. Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, that looks good. Really nice.
So that is Alex, BG_toy art. Go follow him. All right, I'm so glad you picked this next one. This is your Vin. Our friend Vin Faith Customs. I want to say there was one with the moth. We either talked about it on Maz's show or it was on here. I don't go back sometimes and look and see like if it was on the show. And I've been posting them to the channel now so that I can go back and say, oh yeah, that person was on here. Those 3 shows, I don't remember, but he had one where he was kind of blowing on the moth when he was up on top.
Oh, sure, okay.
Saruman's.
It's beautiful. No, it's a beautiful figure, and and I like that it's a high key photo. You don't see that very often with the white in the background. A lot of our stuff tends to lean dark, and so I'm a sucker for some high key art. And I actually love, like, normally I think my instinct would have been to move the hair out of the way, but I love that the hair's in the way. Actually,
I kind of like that too.
And something about his eyes, like I feel like this is an extreme slow motion shot in the film.
Yeah.
The battle's going south.
That's sort of has movement because it's out of focus. It's almost as if he's been contemplating like this, doing that Gandalf thing, and then moving his hand down. Way to something.
Just a look in his eyes, and it's sublime but chaotic at the same time. I'm not sure how to explain it, but yeah, it just caught my eye, and I had to. Yeah, I couldn't stop staring at it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And it's just as simple as that. You know what I mean? Like you got him on a pillar, which I think in another shot. Oops, I went to the next shot. You don't even see that on here. So
yeah, exactly.
For a bigger shot, and then just having the thought to crop it down this close. I love that close.
Yep.
You know, a lot of people would say, "Oh, never crop at the forehead." You know, you got to see the hairline.
Go for it.
It's perfectly okay.
And yeah, and you don't even need to see. I mean, he may have other shots in his collection where the dio was in there, but you know, you don't always need to even include that.
I say that all the time, especially when you're shooting 1/6. It's tough to get a dio that, and a lot of people do portraits with 1/6. A lot of the time, you just need enough there to give some depth. But when you're in this tight, you know, you've already got depth created with the different
With just
levels
the shape
of the
of the
face,
figure,
you know,
yeah.
the hair, the face, the eye in the background. I love it, man. I love because that eye is so iconic. His just look is so iconic, and it's just there's so much emotion in the eye.
Yep.
It's telling a story
Yeah.
without seeing any prop or anything else in here. It's really, really good. Really love it. Yeah, he's excellent. It's got some great. This is the shot I was talking about. I love this.
There you go. Yeah, look at that.
That's the one. That's the shot. Another great choice of angle and without even seeing the face. This is kind of like what we were talking about with the last one, in that the main, I guess you call it, protagonist of the shot is out of focus, and it's focused on something else.
Focus on the butterfly.
Great sort of take on an iconic scene. So
and I love the top down angle too. I know you say that a lot on your shows. I tend to shoot up at my figures, but I need to shoot down at them more often like that.
I love
just to switch it up. That's cool.
This almost made my cut, I think, in January. It's a great shot too. Yeah. So Vin Faith _custom. Vin is great. Never going to be disappointed with that. So go check that out. It's some great Godfather stuff. I love that. It's fantastic. I know Jason Michael just got this figure too, and he's loving that.
Oh, nice.
So, amazing stuff. Good stuff. All right. Move on. I think this is mine. This is mine. So Wookiee Revenge, first time on the channel. I love this shot. Like, I'm a sucker for, you know, the creature from the Black Lagoon anyway. And I don't know, something about this figure. It's a great looking figure. Naked knocked this out of the park. But the practicality of this is really what did it. The light that's coming in from here and the feeling that this is underwater, because if we go to his behind the scenes, it's underwater. It's in a it
is really. I didn't look at this.
Yeah. So we put together this tank. He put together some plants in the glass and shot through the glass. A couple of levels of depth, the rock, a couple of plants inside and a couple of plants outside. Genius, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. Absolutely.
That is a gold shot, man, for sure. You can fake this kind of stuff. I've done it with like fog and smoke.
I was gonna say a little haze or something, and put them on a piece of glass, maybe.
Putting some stuff over the top. But man, nothing beats real water. I mean,
that's cool.
From a movie. Awesome. It's great. He had little bubbles, I'm sure, in post, but did a great job of that with them focused, like you said, like, you know, with a lightsaber. It's like just knowing what to do. But this
layers,
concentrated light beaming down. And again, I don't know if he added a little bit of
a couple of little rays there, maybe
the rays, but it works. And it's done beautifully.
Yeah, that's great. It looks like a frame out of the movie. It does. Yep. That would look good in black and white too, I'll bet.
Totally would look great in black and white. And you get the same effect because he's a little, you know, it's that fog effect, which is what I've, you know, like
really hazy and
water shots, but nothing beats it being in the water, because you not only get, you know, the fog effect, but there's different depth to the fog. Like this looks like it's further back and deeper.
You lose contrast in that distance, and that really gives it that 3D effect.
Yeah, fantastic. And he's got some Seb's got some great stuff here. Really good stuff. Amazing shots with I love this.
I love that figure, that Red Death figure. Oh man,
this is a great shot too. Where's that actual shot? Look at this. I love the God rays coming through. Really nice. These are great figures. I've got these.
I was just gonna say I didn't get those, and I wonder if I should. I don't know. Do I need more?
I know.
But they look so good.
I know. As soon as you see somebody shoot him well too, you're like,
yep.
Yeah, really nice. Some fantastic stuff on Seb's part. So go follow Wookie Revenge. There you go. It's the Wookie right there. Yeah, great stuff, man. Love that. That's great. That's
Ooh,
clever.
yeah, that is cool.
Really clever. Love that.
Yep.
January. I missed that. But this is what I'm talking about. Like we get introduced to new people. I will start following you if we pick your stuff. I mean, it's not much of a prize, but it's a prize, I guess. Sports.
The prize of moral support.
Exactly. There you go. And hopefully more people will. I mean, we've got 46 people on here, which is great. Please hit that like while you're here. That would be very appreciative of that. People were on. I know there's a lot on Monday nights sometimes. Van Johnson, Purple Gang with $1.99. Does Jesse have a
We have an unfinished basement. I'm up in a loft. My wife and I were fortunate enough we just bought a house or built a house about a year ago. So I went from shooting all of my stuff from a little tiny third bedroom in the basement to now I have a nice loft as my home office. So
nice.
Got some elbow room finally.
Then I bet you wish you had Jesse's loft. It's an inside joke. I apologize. It's very, I'm sorry. Wookie's Revenge. It's if you watch the Purple Gang, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. See what some of the comments are. So many incredible photos. Peter Corley outshot. Great. Fantastic. I wish that was basement. How do you dry figures after merging them into swamps? Well, I mean, I think that was a controlled situation. It wasn't in a swamp, but natural sunlight, oven for 350.
Hair dryer, yeah.
Everybody's having fun here. That's Alberta. What's up, Alberta? So anyway, Wookie's Revenge. Seb, go follow Seb. All right. Next one up, I believe, is yours. I'm trying to alternate these.
So there we go.
We talked about this a little bit beforehand. Star Wars Battlegrounds. Go for it.
Yeah. So this is I'm forgetting your name. Oh, Steven. Steven is his name. Steven Bills. I've been following him for a while. He does just amazing. Like I feel like he's a brother from another mother. The way he shoots all these models, throws them together, and does all these nice composites and blasters. It looks like key art from Star Wars Battlefront or something to me. And I love, he always does these really amazing vehicle shots from Star Wars. I just really love them. I'm a sucker for all that old school ILM stuff and shooting practical models and compositing them together. I
mean, this looks like he's got the setup for this thing.
Yeah. There's some mounting brackets in the back there. And like I love his account. He just does these really cool composites. And this one's just got so much action. There's so many elements going on. I just love it. It's like I said earlier, a scroll stopper. It's kind of a cliche term, but it gets me every time I see it. And I'm like, oh, wow, look at that. Look at all those effects.
There's so much work in these composites that people, again, I mean, people come into it and sometimes it's like, there's different genres of even toy photography as there is with any genre of photography.
Yep.
And this is not an easy thing to do. People think it's like, oh, you just took pictures of the different things and you put it together to get the lighting to all match. You gotta have that ahead of time. I mean, you can fake it a little bit to some degree, like you can add to it, but like you can't really completely fake it if you've screwed it up. So you've got to have the thought out. You got to be shooting it.
Yep.
Yeah. It's and then just putting it in place, outlining it so that it doesn't look like it's been outlined, blurring it in the right places to look like there's depth to it. It's a lot of
and I wonder those A-wings, I wonder if those lights, the engine lights might be practical and then enhanced in Photoshop. I don't remember if he lights his models or not. Okay. I think he does sometimes, and then enhanced in Photoshop, tighten up a little bit, but
that's a great job.
To your point about what you said earlier, it is fascinating how toy photography was kind of a genre of photography. And now it's grown so big that toy photography has its own subgenres like this. And it's so exciting to see this stuff grow and explode over the past couple of years.
Yeah, I keep saying that I hope that someday, I mean, I know it's a thing within the community and there's people outside of it that enjoy it, to a certain degree who aren't involved in it or necessarily aren't involved in even collecting, they're just fans of a certain genre or, fans of Star Wars, a property or something like that. But there's going to be a point. I mean, I'm not saying that it hasn't been recognized in certain cases. You said you won an award.
Yeah.
But like more, I mean, this stuff has been going on since photography was a thing. Like,
Yeah.
looking back, there are people who started out. There was a guy who did World War I photography, using models of biplanes and things that were used in like newspapers as stand-ins for a story about what was going on. You know what I mean? It's incredible, and they looked amazing, like even for that time in black and white. So it's been going on for much longer than Hasbro's been around or whatever. So
a lot of my inspiration, look at, I love those TIE bombers and like those Y-wings in the atmosphere. And like, there's just some great,
this is
just beautiful work there. Yeah, I just love that stuff. And I'm a total mark for old school model making and ILM type stuff like that. And
totally, I wish I had time for model. I bought a couple of the Bandai kits, but
I have a cabinet behind
like,
me. Full of
I haven't put
it that I haven't put together yet myself. Yeah, but that's the kind of stuff I'm try to do more of. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I pulled out. I had the Boba Fett, the ship, and I put together the Boba Fett, and I started painting it. And I'm like, this Boba Fett alone is detail oriented as I am. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to ever get this done. I don't have time for this stuff.
Fortunately, now you can get those micro galaxy squadrons or whatever those are, and those are great. Those are great little ships for the price. I've got a bunch of those now. I just love that atmospheric effects and stuff, and
the sunset here, like hitting this wing, like it matches perfect.
Yeah, the lighting matches.
Everything the scene. Like I can see a lot of like beginners trying to do something like this and like trying to light this from the back or putting like real hot red lights or something to say like, but he's just got a little bit of red light that would be
here and there
in the end, just enough to say that these lights are actual and not like, post processed. But man, the light on this wing, that's
right on
money right there.
And I love the subtle motion blurs too. It's not too much. It's just enough to make it look like, oh, I caught a moment. Oh, but I kind of missed it. But it gives it a little bit of realism.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, just like it's amazing. It really feels like, and I love the fact that he does these behind the scenes shots in black and white.
It really does feel
say that.
ILM.
It feels like ILM. It's
like I have a handful of I have a handful. I love that one. That's one of my favorites of his. I just love that.
I mean, he's shooting it like ILM. I mean, this is basically what they did. You know what I mean? Incredible. What if you'd ever do some stop motion? That'd be kind of cool.
That would be cool. Yeah.
That huge process. Damn, this is fantastic.
I love it.
So this is very hard to do. Like we see a lot of people trying to do. I've seen a lot of people trying to do background motion blur and then just kind of cut out, the shit or whatever. And the shit is it completely perfectly in focus, and it can look good. There's such a subtle hint of motion in these ships. You feel like it's a fast shutter speed,
Yep.
There on the
but at the same time, things are moving fast too. So it might not be perfect. Yeah. It just gives a really hint of authenticity.
Yeah, really nicely done. I think I have to follow. I didn't follow him, so I'm following Star Wars Battlegrounds. Go do the same. I'm incredible. Star_Wars_Battlegrounds. I mean, if you're a Star Wars fan, this is money, man. This is gold.
Yeah. Stephen Bills, I think he has a YouTube channel too that I don't know if he posts very often, but I think he has some behind the scenes stuff there too.
Nice. All right.
Don't quote me on that. But.
Next up is one of mine. So Stephen is somebody who posts on Maz's channel all the time. So Stephen is let me just go here. Starting out, 161 posts, 682. We've given him some feedback on some of his shots. I saw this one and I was blown away, man. The creativity of this, the angle, lighting. I mean, this is kind of what you're saying, like again, with like a take on scene, and just from a different angle. And the ingenuity of this is like it's noodle snakes. What do you see this?
I thought that was a picture. I
boiled noodle.
Look at this. Look at this. Come on, man.
Threw it a little faster, but he put some dye or into a bag.
Oh, come on, yeah. Nice.
and
Bravo.
black. I mean, there's snakes out there, but in a pinch, like there you go. You got snakes, man.
Put them in the background slightly out of focus. You can get away with a lot.
And how great does that look? I mean, that
looks
really
awesome. I would have never guessed. Would have never guessed.
And if he had just done that, it would have been great. But like maybe, but he hit the lighting on this so well. Like this just looks like it's in the Well of Souls.
Yep.
He took this shot perfectly. I might have wanted to see a little bit more on the bottom, but I'm okay with it. Like
sure.
Propped fine. You know what I mean? It's not like at the knee or anything like that. It looks like it's a little below the knee there. So it's good. I love it. I love these bucket, these jars look perfect. It's a great scene, quote unquote recreation, and the ingenuity of using the noodles.
Yeah, I love that. Oh.
Man, I love it. Freaking love it.
Yeah, oftentimes the best effects are the ones you don't even see, and I had no idea those were noodles. That's perfect.
Right.
I love it. I love it.
Good. So good. Yeah, I mean, I would have gone out and gotten like little plastic snakes, but they're not all black. And this freaking works. Like it works.
Yep. And I love how the lighting frames. Yeah, how the lighting frames his face too. It's just got that nice side lighting. Like I'm imagining there's torches around him in this temple and stuff. And beautiful.
Good lighting for a male figure. Got a little bit of just silent, which is an unusual lighting scheme, but works really, really well because they're even. You know what I mean? There's nothing overly bright over here, and just a little bit of a catch light over there, or a little rim light over there. Great. Really, really nice.
Is the chat filling up with noodle snake jokes yet? Or
oh god, yeah. This is smart.
That's so cool.
Steven. And this is Steven, and like again, Steven's starting out, like, and he's got some really good stuff. There are some times when we've given him some feedback on stuff, and I think he's taking it to heart. I like that he's doing this now, because he was kind of doing some stuff without a lot of backgrounds and things like that. But he's learning, and I got to tell you, I really hope he takes this direction and really runs with it. His lighting nailed it.
Bravo.
Beautiful. Yeah. Again, there's some basic stuff, but he's done.
Hey, we were all there. We all started somewhere. Yeah, this is great.
Just starting out.
To see that growth, I love it.
But yeah, this is going to be fun. These are the kind of the accounts that I love, because you can see somebody really take off, because like you said, we've all been there. And if you look at our first shots, or our first, honestly, 50 shots, it's all this. It's all like, I mean, he's going to be proud of this one. He's going to be like,
oh yeah,
in a year to 2 years, I'm sure, a year, 2 years, he's going to look back on that and then say, this was the sort of the place where I turned the corner.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Steven, if you're in the chat, you should print that for yourself. Just a little 8x10 or something, frame that up, put that up for inspiration.
Absolutely, for sure. So go follow him. I mean, he, like I said, he's new, but like if you're new and you're learning stuff, learn along with Steven, because he's obviously learning some stuff from and watch Maz's show, because he's on there a lot. We give him some feedback on his stuff, and he's obviously taking it to heart. So congratulations, Steve.
Oh yes, that's really nice. I love that.
Proud of you. All right, the next person is somebody that is definitely not just starting out. This guy is an OG, so go for it.
Cool. Yeah, so Avanaut is probably one of the first people that I ever discovered in toy photography in the late.
Really,
I think he was. He has a book. He has a book of a lot of Star Wars Lego stuff. Small Worlds, Big Galaxy, I think it might be called. But I just fell in love with his stuff. He has a very signature look to his photography. It's very, very like desaturated, subtle tones and things. And I actually reached out to him because he posted this like a week before I did my eclipse shot. And I'm like, oh my gosh, check this out. I was just working on a similar project. I can't believe it. And I just love it. I love the scale models, the astrophotography, including the moon and the star field, putting that stuff all together. It just looks like an authentic space shot to me. And I also love that the blacks aren't black. He raised the blacks a little bit to kind of give it that faded film look. And I just love it. I just love the clean image.
He's a master of light. You're right. He's probably one of the top 10 people that I first started following, and he was doing a lot of Lego. He still does a lot of Lego, but he's known for. He was also known for taking and I don't even know what he was using for models. I don't know if they must have been models, but like things like the Millennium Falcon and putting it in like, woods in somewhere. I think he's in Finland.
I was gonna say Finland or Spain or something. I could be totally butchering that, but he does a lot of scale model stuff too. That is really cool custom stuff.
Putting Star Wars ships and other things into unusual situations, and he was one of the first people, at least I've seen, who started doing this.
Yeah,
but this is wild. So this is his shot of the moon. He took the shot of the moon, and then it reminded him of the old Eagles photograph and recreated it, and it, amazing.
And another little detail that always gets me in other photos. So this is obviously it's probably composited a moonshot and a starfield shot, but the fact that the dark side of the moon actually is shadow. There's no stars there. That's a thing that people miss a lot of time when they're compositing. Like, make sure you leave a full circle for the moon so the dark side covers up the stars.
Right. Because it's otherwise like what happened to the second half of the moon.
You're cutting the moon in half rather than having it part of the shadow. Yeah.
I would expect nothing less from him. But you're right.
But,
so
look at that shot. Man, yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we're gonna go through it. Vesa, Letamaki, I think it's Letamaki.
That could be, yeah. And I think he just relaunched his website too, so he might be kind of getting back in the game and starting to do some more work again, which is really exciting.
Yeah, this is the kind of stuff I was talking about. Just taking the fictional ships and putting them into real. I mean, if you go back into his, there we go. Oh, is that one? No, that's what he used. So
like I know he's like an X-wing. There we go. Like in a parking garage.
Yeah, in a parking garage. Incredible. And this is the kind of stuff that this is, photorealistic editing, basically. I mean, this is the kind of you have to shoot it with the correct lighting for the shot you want to make in the correct with the correct lens. I mean, you've got to kind of match the lens that this shot was taken from. And I think he takes shots too. I don't think he's using any kind of stock shots or anything like that.
No, I think he shoots. Yeah, I think he shoots his own.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
These are his, I believe. So yeah, his Lego stuff, man. There was one, stuff like this.
That's cool. Yeah, I love that
Cantina stuff, and just the low lighting. Like, there's stuff here that you would you'd look at and go, well, that's not right. Like, you can do that, but it works, man. You know what I mean? Like, just he shoots for like cinematically, like it's a film scene.
Yep, absolutely.
Not trying to shoot for like it is a beautiful photograph, but it's just like he's not trying to keep everything crisp and clear. And I mean, it's just there's some stuff that you really got to look deeply at. There's another one of the moon.
The lunar lander on the back in the field there. It's it's such a unique, like, he's one of those photographers. When I see his shot in my feed, before I even see the name, I know who it is,
Oh yeah. He's got a style for sure. I mean, that he's got these things going on for sure, but
like the IG feeding the ducks. Yeah.
Out of nowhere. Yeah. It's just weird. Incredible. But even in the lighting, you could look at something like this, which is something he doesn't do often, and it's like, oh yeah, let's have it up. Incredible. Yeah. So if you're not, look at that.
Look at those. Yeah, that's cool.
What a unique angle, man. And the light. That space light, you know what I mean?
And the light inside the cockpit, is that bleeding in from the top? Or
I don't know. Or there's lights inside it, whether he did that in post. I don't know.
Probably, yeah. But man, I just love the details from those. Yeah, I love that stuff. God, it looks so good.
Where's that first? I'm just compelled to look for that first.
No, let's keep going. Yeah.
It's probably going to be. It's going to be way back. He's been doing a lot. But yeah, I just love his Lego shots. Love his Lego shots.
And I love his model shots. Like, man, we could spend all night talking about
one of the first ones I think.
Look at that. Yeah.
Something like this. And it's like you can't even see half of what's going on here. But it doesn't matter. It's all
you don't need to,
focused. You know what I mean? This is the story. You know that there's some shady things going on. It feels like this was shot live on
in
film,
a dark, dingy
somehow with Legos. You know what I mean? Incredible stuff. So Avanaut, Go follow him if you're not. He's crazy. He's got great stuff. Great stuff. All right. Next up, more Star Wars, kids. More Star Wars. V underscore Imperial underscore Grunt. Love the composition of this. Great composition. Like just having this, the top of the snow speeder and the side of the snow speeder frame all the action here is a fantastic element. Great movement with the nice posing on the figures, and I just love this. Is, I believe, either one of the micro galaxy things or one of the ones from now. I'm gonna be that guy. Actually, I think this is what I think this is one of the sequel edits, but I don't care.
I think that's original.
Is
trilogy,
it not?
Yeah.
Yep. Is that the original trilogy? Okay.
Yeah, the sequel ones had that weird
chain
on their back or something.
Okay. Different, like a different transport or something. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
No, I don't even care. It doesn't matter. I shouldn't have brought it up. It's fantastic.
It is.
The light on this, like again, like you're talking about, like blowing out the background. I mean, this is the scene, right? We're in snow.
Yep.
There's there's fog. There's movement. There's haze. It's great. Different scales. Love it.
And way to get it in that vertical portrait aspect ratio too. That looks like I would naturally want to shoot that and get more of the cockpit, but totally nailed it here. Totally nailed it.
I like it this way. Like, I'm with you. I probably would have done a landscape, but I like the fact that this, like, sometimes, like, you look at this and go, well, that's too much information, but it's acting as a frame, and it's acting to draw. There's nothing here that's distracting your eye, and it's just all leading lines, drawing your eye into this area, and then back here. Nice. I just go from here to here and then look around. It's really, really good. And I don't know if you dirtied this up. It looks really good. I don't know if he's got a little snow on his back, which is a nice little detail, beautiful. Yeah.
Now the more that I'm looking at it, the more I'm actually beginning to appreciate the portrait crop, because it actually feels cramped and suspenseful and uneasy, like that situation would be. It's kind of adding to that. I'm really digging that.
Yeah. And it draws away from like it being like a scene. You know what I mean? Like a cinematic scene, because it's vertical. Look at all the crap. Look at the flour and the dirt. I mean, this man is like destroying his collectibles for your enjoyment. So please.
I love it.
Go follow Tommy. Oh, you're right. I think that is you're right. That is original. You're right.
That might be the micro galaxy one.
Yep. Actually, I think you put a little red line on the top, which I don't remember, but like that's cool.
Oh, in the visor, there's like one or two shots in the visor. Yeah, in the original trilogy where they had that red light. Man, I had that snow speeder, that Black Saber one, and in the early days of
I have still in the box. I've had an idea for it forever. I've never taken out of the box to do it. It's just it's killing me. But
I bought it and it seemed ridiculously large. And this was in the early days of me doing this. I'm like, I don't need this thing. I got to send this back.
I know. That's why I haven't taken it out of the box. The same way.
Yeah, that's super cool. I think that was one of my shortlist shots as well. So I'm glad you were able to pick it.
_ Imperial Grunt, and there's great stuff on here. If you like stormtroopers, if you like GI Joe, if you like battle stuff, if you like military stuff, great GI Joe stuff on here. Great Star Wars Imperials on here. In fact, mostly Star Wars Imperials. If you like heroes, probably not.
I love that little bird chopper shot.
Like a lot of villains. The which one?
The little bird. That helicopter.
This one.
Front, both of them actually. They're both from America. I love that. I freaking love that.
Wow. That's incredible.
That's super cool. I wonder if he used like a slow shutter speed and spun the blades. Maybe
I'm wondering that too, right? Like if he did that in post, that's excellent. I mean,
really well done.
I know
I have a blackout transformer helicopter that I've been meaning to do a similar. I've been wanting to try that spin the prop effect. Yeah, look at that. I love that shooting through the cockpit of another one.
Now, talk about like another great
frame within a frame. Yeah.
If I had been doing this back in August, this totally would have won if I'd known of his account. That's fantastic.
That's super cool.
I gotta give that a like. That's incredible. Yeah. So Imperial Grunt.
Good stuff.
Follow them. Gen X. There you go. OG Star Wars, GI Joe, military. Absolutely excellent stuff. Really, really good.
I was just gonna point that one out. That's cool.
Really good.
Oh, nice.
Great stuff. Great stuff. All right. Next one is yours. And this is another new one. An account that I didn't know about. I don't think. Daddy Gorebucks. What about
Nice.
this?
Great
This
name. Great name.
Yeah, it is really.
Yeah, I just realized I'm picking a lot of high key images here this month.
Yeah. Oh, well,
I
we
really
both are.
yeah. I mean, I don't really have. I'm trying to think how to even explain it. This was just, now I'm saying it too much, but it was a scroll stopper. I just stopped and I just kept staring at it. I like, it's so simple. I kind of love the silhouetteness. I love the hot light bloom around the face of the figure.
Yeah.
And the mist and the haze, and it's just, I don't know. I just like this. I see this as a poster on the wall or something.
Yeah.
Great
It's very
pose.
artsy.
Yeah.
That light coming around and kind of narrowing the neck and kind of
Yep.
obscuring the head is extremely artsy.
Yeah.
Setup
Slightly,
is amazing. I mean,
yeah.
does he have a BS of this? I don't know. Does he? Is
Oh, I
he
don't know. I'd
real?
have to check again.
Because I'd love to see a BTS on that one. I don't think so. I think I looked before and I didn't see
I
anything.
can see it. Yeah, I'm not
That's a
seeing
shame.
it
It's like I'd
either.
really like to see what is going on there.
Yeah, I'd love to see more of that setup.
It's fantastic. I mean, I'm jealous of this bonsai tree back here.
Yeah,
And this whole setup here. This is a lot of work. He's got the lily pads in the pond here. I'm assuming this is all practical. I mean, I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm thinking it is. The reflection looks real nice. The reflection of everything looks
that's
spot
true.
on
Yeah,
and
that's
matches.
True. That'd be tricky to
like
do.
I almost feel bad. I don't have a lot to say about it. I just love it, and I don't know why. It's just a great shot.
I think, I mean, like you said, the high key is arresting, right? And like the fog suits the early morning,
Yeah, it's kind of sitting on the horizon there, sitting low to the ground.
Ninja samurai inspired Kurosawa type, cinematic feel to it. And he's done really well. Like this little mist down here, whether this is post or actual, is perfectly done without being just like a massive fog or something like that. It looks like little wisps of fog are rolling over the grass and stuff. Man, it's really, it feels real. You know what I mean? It's really, really nicely done. Even though you can look at it and go, well, if you know what you're looking for, like that's probably a plastic little plant and stuff. But man, if you're not looking for that, this looks real. It looks really good. And I like the air around it too. It's almost a
little bit of breathing room and
a nice frame with the inverse. White.
It just has that open air morning. Like I feel wet dew kind of sensation, like morning training or something.
It cuts through like the middle of it just cuts through the white of the top and the bottom. And it almost feels like a little watercolory, like, and it fits the theme, you know what I mean? Asian inspired, ink drawing or watercolor or something. Like
now that I'm looking closer at it, I wonder if the water is actually a sheet of glass or something. Because the way those three posts right under the figure where they connect to the water, looks like they're just sitting on it rather than going into it. But I'm not taking anything. In fact, that enhances it almost. The fact that it's
it feels like a very still, and in fact, like you'd think that this character would be practicing some very slow, movements, and so as to not to kind of disguise their movements or whatever. And the fact that it's very still water fits like an early morning feel. I don't know. It's gorgeous, man. Really great mood, amazing mood.
Very soft really
and some other great morning stuff. He does amazing stuff with the props. I gotta say, like his prop game is on point.
Yeah, look at all that. Yeah,
really, really good. Some great stuff, and all over the place. Chain gang guys, the damn toys, Death gas station, stuff like this. Wow. I love. That's fun. Look at the what do you call that?
I'm trying to think of that kind of prismy looking miragey.
Yeah, it's kaleidoscope
aberration, like a chromatic aberration kind of thing, or something.
Chromatic aberration is the word.
Something exactly. Like that going on.
That is so perfect.
That's
man.
trippy.
That is so perfect. He's got the crazy, drugged out
crazy eyes and
really, really nice. That's great.
Nice little going.
So, experimenting with a lot of stuff. I love it. Yeah, baby. Fantastic. Wild.
Oh,
Prop game on point, man. Really good props. Really good setups. Look at the rocks and everything here.
Oh yeah,
Little,
perfect
Zen
scale. Yep,
rocks
little
over
stack.
here.
Yep.
Wow. Really nicely done.
Great pose on that figure too.
Yeah. And a good use of this. This is kind of cool that he switched this out and made this into something else. I haven't seen anybody do that with that figure, which is great. Really good stuff. Daddy Gorebs. Gotta follow him. I thought I followed everybody here, but I guess sorry, following you now. Really good stuff. All right, moving on. One of my picks. This just stuck out again. Another amazing props, amazing setup.
Yep.
This just looks so good, and like it looks like he made the stand that the Scarecrow's on, the look, the pose. I mean, you say pose, it's like goofy because he's just like kind of stuck up on wood, but like just the look of his face, looking.
Yeah, the fact that he's turning and looking at us
is
super creepy. Yeah. Yep.
This hay around him and the pumpkin.
Just gonna mention, beautiful. Yeah. I'm half expecting to step off of the cross like in stop motion right now. It looks like a stop motion frame, like it's ready to start kind of that slow, jittery frame rate, start walking kind of thing. That's super cool.
And there's a lot of times we've been saying lately, and I know that Ian was saying this, that like, the Deutsch
oh yes, the old
can be overused or used wrongly. It's used properly here. This works. Like this brings a figure that if it was straight, I don't think it would have the impact.
Yeah, it would.
It's like it's bearing down on you and like above you and frightening. It works really
well. I mean, a lot of the point of the Dutch angle is to give a sense of uneasiness or unrest or suspense and things like that. And to have the Scarecrow turning and looking at you and to kind of give you that creepy vibe, it totally works. Totally works.
It feels like the camera just tilted as he looked at you, and it's like going to be one of those things.
You're like, oh,
it zooms in on his face, and then he jumps down. But like nice leading lines, the lines on the water tower stand leading in, and the lines on whatever this fence or whatever is back
whatever
here.
That grass is, that is perfect too.
It is
like perfect scale.
I think Sean, Visual Approach Photo, used something similar to this in a shot he did of Superman in the Iowa cornfields or something like that. It looked fantastic. But yeah, amazing. Really, really amazing. Toy Fanatic. No name. Don't know if I know Toy Fanatic. Or if we've talked, but some great stuff, man. Really good action shots. Again, using the Dutch tilt well here.
Oh, very nice. Yeah.
Love this.
Yeah.
This is not the last time you'll see Sergeant Slaughter tonight either. Really funny as hell. Like,
oh my god, I can hear that photo.
Yeah,
funny.
Really great. Again, somebody with some great prop work, man.
Oh, look
really,
at that.
really.
Yep. Oh, I've been meaning to do some wrestling shots. I have a ring and I got a handful of figures.
Oh, really?
I even went as far. I've got the one of the extreme set backdrops, and I just haven't taken the stuff out yet. I gotta do some of that, especially with WrestleMania coming up. I suppose you should do a theme shoot.
Definitely. Some nice ACBA stuff here with the cutouts, and you did a pretty good job of that too.
Yeah, I love when people do that. Do the crack.
I admire when people do that. It's hard.
That's cool.
Man. I've done it once for a contest in ACBA, and it's not easy. This is
great. Yeah, I love that alien. Look at that.
How great is that?
I've yet to shoot that figure too. I love that thing.
About that. I love what people are doing this. Simon Hill, Plastic Snaps, doing some stuff with the aliens, just as straight up like 50s grays.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
love that stuff. Yeah,
really good. Yeah, like watercolor. I think Mark is talking about the last one. Curtis with the $1.99. Thanks, Curtis. I'd love to see this set up with Monkey King. Yeah. Oh, the last one. Yeah, for sure. This one here would be. Whoops. This one. Maybe this one. Either one of these.
Oh, like one of those.
One, the one you picked actually with the Monkey King would be beautiful. Yeah, I did something akin to this, but with more of a detailed background. I kind of like the white I might even steal that.
Yeah, I did a Grogu high key shot like that. That was super fun.
Yeah.
I just love that look. It's cool. You don't see it very often.
It is a good look. It's not something I gravitate towards.
Mm.
You know what I mean? But I mean, I'll do some like highly sunny shots, but like not like really blown out high key shots. But
You don't shoot outdoor very often, do you?
Never.
No.
Never. I'm not going outside.
Fair point.
No,
fair point.
I've gotten to the point where I can recreate outdoors, indoors, and I'm never going outside again. I didn't know that stuff. There's no place in my backyard that really looks good. I mean, I have a lot of greenery and stuff, but it's all out of scale, and I'd have to set something up on a tabletop anyway. So I'm like, why am I?
Oh gosh, then you might as well just do it in the office. Yeah,
exactly. Toy Fanatic, go check them out. Incredible stuff. This is yours. Android Action Figures, who I think there was a similar name in the chat, so hopefully they're here.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so yeah, I love this account. Like, I'm a sucker for giant robot on robot action. I mean, Transformers. I just love it. This is one of those kind of, we go from a nice, beautiful, serene, simple shot to like balls to the wall action. I just love.
Yeah,
I love the color. I love the light. I love the feel of the impact of that gun from Megatron, just like hitting him in the chest. I'm like, ooh, and him bouncing back. And the little detail of like, well, the blaster effect is great, and how it's behind the hand of I forget his name now.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
Like that's a challenge to do that sort of thing, to get that lighting just right. And I know I feel like I can feel the impact of this photo, just kaboom right in the chest.
Yeah, and to get the light and to keep that like the way that it affects the way that it affects the fingers on there. You know what I mean? Like it's not just a blur. There's a light bleed that's like going to form around those figures from the light behind it. And he recreated that, whether or not he's got a light back there or not, like to sort of simulate that, and then did the Photoshop post. I would hope maybe he did something like that. If he didn't, it's even better. And it follows straight through the back of I don't know who this is.
I can't remember his name. I'm
trying to look in his hashtags to see if there's anything.
See if he names it.
Either way. Who's Rodimus Prime? Is this Rodimus?
There you go. Rodimus. Yeah, okay. But yeah, just I'm a sucker for cool action shots and Transformers and robots, and it just
the impact on the waist is shown. He's like coming over, which a lot don't quite get. And the splayed hand I really like, because it shows a reaction to that shot. It's not just a fist or something like that. You're losing all control at that point, and you're just like, oh my god.
And even though you can't really see it, like Megatron's left arm, it looks like it's wrapped around, like it's holding him, like just a gut shot.
Just like grabbing him by the back of the neck and just doing a gut shot. Very cool.
You got your really in the background and
got some details.
Just thought it was a really fun action shot, and I love the stuff that he does, and
really nice. Yeah, beautiful, man. Holy cow! If you like Transformers, man.
He's got
Damn.
Oh, nice. Yeah, lots of really, really, really cool Transformer stuff there.
Wow. What a great angle on that thing.
Yep.
I wonder what lens that is. That's wild, the way that gun is like flared out like that. That looks huge. It's really cool.
But yeah, so many
really nice stuff.
Really cool stylized Transformer stuff. Yeah. That's a great figure. Those are those what are they? 3-0 NDL.
Oh, no. Where's that shot?
Yeah.
It's funny. I don't know where the shot is.
Look at some of this. I love all this very cinematic looking.
Yeah. That's a great crop. I actually like this crop better than this. This is nice, but I like that tight crop because of the bird there. Yeah, beautiful lighting too, man. He's really got some really nice lighting. Yeah, I'm not a Transformers. This is really nice. Look at that. I mean, that's just a kind of a posy hero shot, but like really nicely done. Yeah, wow. Good lord. These are great.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff to scroll on that page.
Great Transformers stuff. Again, another person who's got some really nice dials specifically for these characters. Really good. Great stuff. Android, ANTROID _ action figures from Chile. Very nice. international tonight. All right. Next one up. This is mine. This is okay. Amy Caddy Combs, which is like one of the best
Excuse me.
names ever in
Caddy Combs. Yep.
I have, there's so many times that I've had her in, and it's just been like something like they're fantastic. I love her work. If I could do everything like Amy, I would. But I love her. Amy is who I want to be. Like I aspire to be Amy. I just love her stuff. She takes the most like obscure figure or even just a figure that and just does something completely different with it. And this is what I love about this. Like she has like some saying from a poem or a phrase or something or a quote from someone. And in this one, it's the same hand that can write a beautiful poem, can knock you out with one punch. That's poetic justice, Irish Wayne Kelly. And this is just old timey Sergeant Slaughter, but he looks like an old timey.
I was just going to say, this looks like a 40s or 50s, like boxing promo, like card shot or something.
I love it. And I wouldn't have thought about that looking at this figure. And that's what she does. She takes these figures and she puts them in a situation and shoots them that you're like, wow, I never would have thought about that figure in that situation with that light or with whatever. It's I
even that textured background is like spot on for this kind of era. And,
the light, the parallel lighting coming from the top, lighting the top of the arms and getting very dark towards the bottom is a totally, this is the way this would be lit with an outdoor, light coming in through a ceiling, or maybe, one of those flashlights. Right?
Burst. The little smoke that kind of comes up afterwards.
Freaking good, man. It looks so perfect. And then she'll do a little behind the scenes and you just look at this and you go, oh man, think how simple.
Oh my God. That backdrop is like the classic portrait vintage backdrop. Like that's perfect.
Yeah, it's the backdrop for every
for a portrait. Yeah. And it looks like she must have photoshopped out the joints. And I was going to ask if that was a statue or if it was a figure, but cool. Great job.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't notice that actually right off the bat because I don't have this figure. It's subtle. I don't know that a lot. I would say with a figure like this, she might have wanted to they might have just been so obtrusive that she did it anyway. But
that's a tough call, removing joints. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I remove part of the joint. I did a shot with
Esco Popeye that was not similar to this, but like in this vein, like a portrait, real tight portrait with a single light. And I did the same thing. It would just look too weird with like the joints on the hands and the wrists and things like that.
Sure.
I was just like, I'm going to try and make it. But man, everything she does, just like,
look at that.
Look at this. You know what I mean? Like
beautiful.
An astronaut on a bench in front of a lake with a bag next to it. It just tells a story that you don't know. What the hell is going on here?
It makes you want to know. Yeah, it makes you want to wonder oh, what's going on here? You know what?
Some Star Wars characters, non-Star Wars characters that just looks like this is very much, in that Avenant vein. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like
that.
Gorgeous.
Nice.
Where was this was very nearly made my cut too.
Ooh,
I love
that.
Again, this would have been perfect for our theme tonight.
For our high key theme. Yeah, absolutely.
This will be an honorary mention because this is just what is this from?
I was going to ask what that robot's.
This is the IG-88 Ralph McQuarrie concept.
Oh, no kidding!
Hasbro did this. Is this a 3 3/4? Wow, this is great. I love this.
Dang. I was just commenting to my wife last night about the Ralph McQuarrie art books and how I would love those as an anniversary or birthday present. Hint, hint.
Dude, you got to get them. I got the Art of Ralph McQuarrie, and then I got the big, pricey one.
Yeah, it's like a 2-box set or something. It looked like. I have a handful of Star Wars art books and visual effects books, so I have a lot of Ralph McQuarrie art in book form. But
I'll show it to you after the show. But there's one that's like, it's expensive, but it is.
Does it have the old classic 3PO on the cover? Oh, I'm sorry, you broke up there for a second.
No, that's the Art of Ralph McQuarrie, which is a beautiful book. Okay. But it's all Star Wars. There's another one that goes back to his days of like doing stuff for NASA and other book covers and
very
things
cool.
like that, which cool stuff before he even gets into Star Wars. So it's amazing. Anybody out there, you got to follow Amy. Caddy.combs. Caddy.combs. I'm telling you, like every month, man, I'm just blown away by the creativity and the simplicity. Like this is haunting.
Oh,
You know what I
look
mean?
at that. I love the contrast of the sci-fi with that old vintage colonial. No, what am I trying to say?
Yeah. Victorian.
Victorian, thank you. Bingo. Yeah.
She does this all the time. And again, not in the same way, but just
great lighting.
Look
at that.
The lighting is gorgeous. Yeah. And then she'll get whimsical. You know what I mean? There's it's not all dark and spooky. It's really good stuff. But I just like this again. How great is that? I love everything about this.
There we go. Yeah. Yep.
Fantastic. Am I lagging behind you?
There's a couple times where it does lag, and that it did lag there, but no, we're good.
Okay. Caddy Combs, please go and follow Caddy Combs.
Yeah.
It is amazing. All right, next up, we're at the end here. We're getting there. Tom.
Oh, here we go. Tom Milton. Yeah. So Tom Milton is another photographer I followed for a long, long time. And I love this indie shot. I just think it looks so authentic and dirty. And the really cool thing about Tom that I'm totally jealous of is he shoots with a vintage anamorphic lens. He's one of the few people that does that. I absolutely love it. So his shots always have this little bit of fringing on the edges and just this soft vintage look that I really love. Yeah. And he always takes these anamorphic shots that I just love. I'm jealous of him. I want to get an anamorphic lens one of these days, but yeah, it's like, cool. He took this out to a park and it just says Indiana Jones to me, like Indy's entering a tomb and it's got that nice sunlit in the back and
like nothing out of scale here. If he did this outdoors, he removed everything that would have like given it away.
Yep.
These look like you said, the entrance to like an ancient cavern or something like that. Trees in the background. There's nothing to give away that this isn't in scale with the figure. I love the pose. And yeah, I love this. Like, look, I mean, this fringe, this is the kind of stuff that's hard to like, you can fake this, but you got to know like what to do, which isn't really
it's just such a lens characteristic thing.
Yeah, totally.
He has so many cool anamorphic shots.
I just
and there you go.
Oh, holy crap.
Just out at the park and some weird, I don't know what that is, but
that's amazing.
Bring your figure and set up, and then you can see the lens, and then you can see how it's squeezed on the sensor there, and then you have to go and de-squeeze it, and it's super wide too. Like, so it's true anamorphic.
That is wild.
And I need to reach out to him and ask him what the aspect ratio is because it's great. It's like 2.5 to 1 or something. It's something crazy wide.
How is he getting it? Okay, so he's taking it like that and then he's stretching it.
So then he would have to, so it gets squeezed in the lens to the sensor because an anamorphic lens, not to get too far down this, but most of our lenses are a sphere at the end. And an anamorphic lens is typically a cylinder.
Right.
So then when the image comes onto the sensor, it's squeezed horizontally. It's like you squished it like this. So then you will have to take it in Photoshop and de-squeeze it and stretch it back out. But
I wonder how I don't think this shot that we're looking at was the shot that we're looking at ultimately, but because it's
the figure's
frame
or something.
Man, that is so amazing. That is really,
but I love that he's out there doing that. I'm totally jealous. And I want to get an anamorphic lens one of these days because I feel it suits my style. And he's out there just killing it with these. And
this kind of stuff, actually, we just got done talking about this, but this kind of stuff, like, actually makes me want to go out and shoot something like this. But you gotta have known that this was there and go,
it must be on his regular, like a park nearby.
I happen to have an Indiana Jones in my pocket. Good for me.
We've gotten to the point when my wife and I go, like, there's a state park down the road here and stuff. And it's like, if we go for a walk on a Saturday, she's like, you want to bring a couple figures? I'm like, yeah, babe, I think I will. I'll throw them in the backpack. Let's go.
It's a good woman. Keep it. A lot of landscape photography with this.
So he's out. I don't know where he is.
This is Andorra. Does he travel or is he from?
Wait a minute. No, he's out in Europe somewhere. I should have known this before
Okay.
before I
Arrakis. So is this a Dune figure? Is that a person?
I'll bet you it is actually.
Amazing.
Where is his about stuff?
Wow, it really gives quite a quality, right?
Like it does. Yeah. It's just such a unique. He's just such a unique photographer that you don't see this kind of stuff very often. And fortunately, he was one of the first people I see that helped kind of funnel me into this stuff and get into it. And man, it's such a bummer that I love shooting widescreen. I love that he shoots anamorphic, but it's so hard to showcase that stuff on social media. Because
I know it sucks. Keep saying it to Pablo because Pablo was the same way. I miss Flickr. Flickr was great for stuff.
Yep.
Oh, that's
see, I almost picked that one. It was kind of a toss up, but I love the scene. It looks out of a movie.
Yeah, it gives it a cinematic quality. This lens, I gotta say. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, see, I love that stuff.
Damn, that is really good. Wow, the atmosphere here and the light. I love this. Wow, look at that. Yeah,
just a little crack in the rock and mud. And
amazing.
But
amazing. This is great stuff, man. Thank you. This is.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you. Yeah,
did not know. I think I knew about this account. I feel like I may have seen something from him, but like, man, this is beautiful stuff. The quality of this lens, man, is like. It's kind of those novelty lenses you can get, like Lens Baby and stuff like that.
Oh sure, yeah.
But
yeah,
the actual thing that everybody's trying to emulate. That's really
exactly. And he's out there and he's got the lens and he's doing it, and I just like it. Just such a unique quality.
Yeah. Wow, that's beautiful. Where's this?
I'm totally jealous.
Wow, look at that. How great is that?
Metal or something? Yeah.
Yeah, like. This is it, kids, man. Look at patterns on things. You can do a lot of
for texture.
This is very much in Amy Caddy Combs' area too. They're just taking simple. I mean, he's doing a lot of outdoor shots and stuff too. But Caddy does too, or Amy does that too as well. But just there's a quality to it that's very artsy. They're not concerned with matching an area to a film specifically and just having fun with the toys, which I envy a lot. Like it's hard for me to break out sometimes.
And not being afraid to be technically perfect too. I think sometimes as photographers, we get lost in our gear and trying to pixel peep everything at 100%. It's like, you know what?
True.
Sometimes technical's boring. Let's just get a little dirty with it and have some fun.
Yeah. Well, like we were talking about earlier, was a Vin shot, like just a little bit of noise.
Yeah,
in there. Just adding a little bit of grain to it makes it look a little more interesting.
Gives it a little authenticity.
You don't want to be out of focus, but like there is a quality in that lens that gives you that kind of like, geez, I've forgotten the term already. What was the not anamorphic, but
the chromatic aberration.
The aberration, a little bit, not chromatic so much, but a little bit of. Like there's a little bit of a halo around it.
Little bit of things are just off kilter a little bit. Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. All right. My pick next was toy_lens. I just thought this was really a beautiful setup. Cool. Really nice posing. Just even the lean on flat here. The reflection.
Yeah.
Spider-Man in this really not necessarily an easy thing to do the way you're going to light something. I mean, he's lighting it from inside. I love, but he's still got like that. Either it's outdoors or it's in a tunnel, and
a little bit of moonlight or something back there.
Lighting there. Great use of this dio. I see a lot of people shooting from inside this dio. Love the fact that he shot from outside of it, and the pose is on point. Like he's got the fingers down. He's got the fingers down here.
Yep.
Great Spider-Man pose. It really sells the fact that he's in there. You just see a little bit of him, and I love, just these guys looking off camera and not seeing him,
oblivious to what's going on.
Maybe one of those moments where somebody turns their head and he goes, you know what I mean? Telling a story. I loved it.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. I love how it's like you said, lit from the inside. I wouldn't have
Yeah.
expected that, but it has that authentic, like you're
Mhm.
peeking into a window kind of look on Spider-Man's face and stuff. And it's just so.
I've seen this lit. I don't know. Are you going to ask if they light up?
No.
No.
I was going to ask if that quote unquote glass, does that come with the dial?
That's a good question.
Or do you think he maybe
Oh,
put
no.
a sheet of
That
something
himself,
in there?
because I think it's one of the extreme dios, and I've seen people put like plexi in them and stuff
Sure,
like that. I
sure,
don't
yeah.
think they come
And
with the
it's so great
plexi.
that it has some specks of dust in it too, because that helps you sell the fact that there's something there.
The whole thing looks dirty like a subway.
Yep,
Believe me,
like a
I
subway, exactly.
things all the time, and they're dirty. And the fact that he's got a little bit of a glow, which I'm assuming is like a post
Probably added a little bit. Yeah.
Don't think
Yep,
these are
on those
cut out.
lights in there.
These shining lights through here. These are perfectly lit, but it feels like to me that the light is coming from these fluorescent lights inside, which I
Yep.
love.
And like you mentioned, the
but
pose of that guy, the guy leaning up, like that it just seems so
just
natural. I
the
love it.
yeah,
just
like
kinda,
that. Like,
it's been a long night.
he's not grabbing. You could have had him just standing there, but like that's how you would pose. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like
Yep.
it wasn't something to grab onto. You'd pose, and anybody cool is not actually grabbing the pole. You know what I mean, they're just like, I could stay. Good.
Yeah,
really,
that's a
really
great
nice.
shot. And then
Yeah,
contrast
I
with
love,
you got the warm light inside, the cool moonlight outside.
yes,
Very
yep,
nice.
yep. Offset it, nicely framed in here. Even though Spider-Man's kind of the focal point, there's something about this reflection. The
Yeah.
fact that it's not all there and it's not perfect that I love, man. It just tells a great story. Really, really nice.
Yeah, that's a great shot. Look at that.
And Eric does great stuff, man. Some really great, amazing setups. And look at that.
That is cool.
Insane.
Heck of a dial. Wow.
Top down, baby. Gotta love the
There you go.
bird's eye.
Yep.
Love the bird's eye. Yeah, great lighting.
Great
I mean,
setup.
there's not an instance of look at this.
Nice.
I mean, kaiju's not. I mean, this is a specialty to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there are certain people.
Oh yeah.
Really,
There's
well.
some great.
Man, I'd love to try this.
I do too. Yeah, I've got a Godzilla figure. I've got a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man over here, like in a Pacific Rim. Like I just haven't done one of those yet, and I want to.
Me neither.
That'd be cool. That I love that.
This
That is
almost
cool.
made the cut. This almost made the cut.
Yep, I remember seeing that. Yeah, I love that. That's such a cool looking figure.
Yeah, and I'm not being a mythic pusher, which is why not why I didn't pick it, but I just liked it. The other one better. Great stuff. Great composition. It's really got some really nice posing and some composition, and the props are on point. Really, really nice stuff. Great stuff. So toy_lens, that's Derek. Go check him out. All right, moving on. OL Design, I believe, their third pick in which is amazing. Like, I tried to move it around and spread it out, but like, hey, he's doing good stuff. And my guess, I think I picked him on the first one, and then my guests had picked him twice. So
subsequent time, yeah. Like this one, I couldn't. Again, I hate saying the term, but scroll stopper. Like, it's such a unique angle to do a first-person shot with toys is such a rare thing. Kind of tricky thing it could be to do. I've tried it once or twice myself to various degrees of success, and I just love it. I just love in not only the first person view, but I think the colors just pop. I love the saturation. You got those nice blues in the background, the beautiful gold on the idol there. Yep. And I didn't even notice this until a few days ago. Indy's reflection is actually in the forehead of the thing. He photoshopped him in, and I just love that little added touch. Yeah, if you look really closely, you can see Indy peering in, kind of looking down at it.
I see it. There's so the mouth, goofy. There's the nose, there's the eyes. Yeah. That's great.
And I didn't even catch that until a few days ago when I was reviewing this stuff. And
that's really good.
Yeah, no, I just love it. It's got the widescreen motif going, and the first person view just sold it for me because it's just it's great. Unique stuff that I don't see very often. It just catches your eye.
Absolutely, different angle. Tricky to get. Like, I'm assuming he took the arms off the figure and just put them in there. Because,
there's a behind the scenes. So you'll see. I think he's got like a probe lens, and then has the hands like mounted to the side of it. Oh, yeah, there you go.
That's fantastic.
It's so great.
Incredible.
That's another lens I want to get. That probe lens. It's so cool.
That's Pablo.
Oh, there you go. There you can see.
He's like, my next one is going to be a probe lens.
It's
I feel like it's very expensive for. I don't know if I'd use it all that much, but then I keep seeing more and more stuff that I'm like, you know what?
It's
I
such a
might.
specialty lens that, like, oh,
Yeah,
I don't know,
incredible,
but
amazing.
you can do some stuff.
Yeah.
That many people are
OL
doing.
underscore design. We've shown him before. We had Buzz Lightyear. I think was one of the
Yeah,
first
that's
ones.
beautiful.
I think one of the other ones that was picked was this one was last month.
Oh, yep.
Incredible
I
shot
remember
in
seeing
Jurassic
that.
Park.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, amazing. And this is like a statue he's got here, I think.
Yeah.
Like this is
Yep.
all just a statue with the figure on it and stuff. So really, really cool.
Nice.
With the car, I think, put in place. All right, beautiful. Next one. This is mine, and then I'm gonna take a quick break, and I'm gonna let you talk about yours on the next one.
All right.
I mean, I saw Dune 2. Holy crap! What a great movie!
Nice. Good to hear. That's what I'm hearing. I haven't seen it.
But this is a beautiful, beautiful shot. And Chris does some great outdoor photography, very moody, simple stuff with a simple figure and an outdoor environment and just beautiful lighting and stuff. But I thought this captured the feel of the movie really, really well. And I love the poses. These are not great figures. These are the McFarlane figures. They don't pose great, but I thought he did a great job putting them. I mean, they're not, dynamic poses.
Yeah.
But it's not that kind of movie. You know what I mean? I think he captured this really, really well.
Yeah. No, they don't need to be in this shot. They're just wandering and
yeah.
Great walking pose. Yeah. Great natural outdoor lighting. It looks like.
Just a little bit of dust that he probably kicked up with just blowing it or throwing it around. But yeah, you can see like he's got some great, just beautiful lighting. You know what I mean? Background lighting. Picks a good, time of day to go out there. Some indoor stuff. It's very simple. It's usually just one figure.
I love that reflection.
Yeah. With a little bit of movement in it.
Look at that.
And,
I like that. Yeah.
What, the Vader? Yeah. Beautiful, right? Incredible.
Nice.
Like stuff like this.
Oh yeah.
There's a cuteness to it, but there's some really cool stuff. Look at that. I mean, that's the Lego.
Yep.
Out on the water. Just sitting in the water there. This one was great too.
I love that.
Creepy as hell, but this again, like very much in that Caddy Combs style. But this is Chris.
Exactly.
I mean, like he does a lot of this stuff. Chris Rose photo, incredible stuff. British toy photographer. Go follow him. Amazing. I'm gonna throw this over to you, and I'm gonna take one quick. Oh, this is okay. Sure. Well, you're gonna start this, and I'm gonna come right back to it. I'll be right back.
All right. Oh, look at that. Look at that shot from Jason. I mean, we all know Jason's great. I mean, come on, look at this. Look at this. Look at the composition. Just beautiful. I love the desaturated colors too. It's not, it just has that dark night look, it's not oversaturated. It's not popping bright colors. It's the dark night, so it's desaturated. I'm assuming that's some saran wrap there for the water with a little bit of Photoshop splash in there. The pose is awesome. You can totally feel Batman tugging at that chain with the cape flapping in the air in the breeze. And I'm guessing that's a digital background, but it's super seamless. Oh, you guys can't see my mouse. I'm trying to point with my mouse, but you can't see that. Yeah, just a beautiful shot. I mean, what can you really say? That's a cool figure too. Both of them are. Lots of sweet dio pieces. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know what more to say. I mean, it's so good. The lighting matches, like the lighting from the grates coming up from the top and then matching on the top of Batman there and the top of the gator. Super cool. Oh, now and I can't click forward on it either. Kind of don't have a whole lot of control, but
sorry.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. You're good,
Doug. Okay. Yeah. I mean, Jason,
right?
You made it, man. I mean, he's always putting out gold, right? It's just like, I don't know. It's been like a timing thing. Amazing. I mean, it's always amazing. He always blows me away.
Yep.
He's going to be in more of these for sure. Like I'm looking at his Godfather stuff, and I'm loving that. Just for the subject matter. But this is nuts. I mean, the the way the lighting is matched up with the backgrounds.
Yep.
It just feels seamless. The whole thing feels seamless with the water. It looks like it flows right into the sewer scene, right? Like, and the sewer scene is just like a perfect. it's the perfect background for this. You know what I mean? It just works so well.
Yep.
And man, the cellophane for the water.
Yep.
I mean, I know he photoshopped a little bit of the,
Little
the
splashes.
water. I mean, but it doesn't look like that. It looks really good. There are times when I look at it and go, especially around the croc, I'm like, is that
when it stands out?
water there? Did he put it in water there and then just cellophane in the front? Is there a little pool or something there? Because it's really, really well done.
Yeah, that's the thing with visual effects. I mean, visual effects at their best, they either completely stand out and look awesome, or they're invisible and they're hidden. And this is just, you don't even notice it. It's just the splashes.
Yep. He's strategically put like a box here and kept it minimal in terms of like the transition from, whatever this background is to the foreground, but just even that he's kept the tone of that matching for the most part. That doesn't have to match exactly because it's a different part. There's different light on it and stuff, but it's perfect, man. I mean, this really, really sells the water. And sometimes I see this and it can do a good job, and yet you go and you look at it and you go, oh yeah, that's saran wrap or whatever. That's good.
Yeah.
But here, it doesn't even look like
that. It doesn't draw your eye. It seamlessly blends.
No. And I'm not looking at this. I'm looking at what's going on up here, and this is a great scene. The posing, the expression on Batman. I don't remember this Batman face. Is that a custom Batman head?
I'm not too familiar with my Batman figures, but
and
that's like an all fabric.
Batman. Oh, okay, yeah. This is a custom. Yeah,
okay.
That looks great, man. Holy crap!
And
a little thing like that can really make that. You know what I mean? Like you see these figures enough, you own some of them, and you're like, oh yeah, that's the angry face. That looks like he's struggling there, and really putting some strength.
You can
really
feel the tension, like in that posing too, from the Gator and both Batman. Like that chain is tight, he's pulling, and the way the cape is flapping up, it's significant. Like his shoulders are going down and the cape's coming up, and you can just feel the tug. Yeah, that's super cool.
Knuckleheads. That's right. I hope he's still around. He's still around, man? He was on here. Pop wants to know, do you have apprentice? Yeah, the behind the scenes. So here's the behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah.
Take a look at that. And he always shoots really long, too. I'm always amazed.
That's great to get that depth. Yeah.
But I'm surprised. It's very compressed, and that it's like it looks like it's right there. You know what I mean? Like, and he's getting that. It's so hot. It's so high over the head of Batman and stuff. It's incredible.
Yep. And another great thing to note there for people getting into this too. You don't need a huge set to do a lot of this. All that matters is what's in the cone of vision of that lens. You can see. Look at how thin that setup is, and you just don't see that stuff on the side, and it doesn't matter.
He doesn't have walls. He doesn't have anything going on. It's enough to get the story done. And you start doing that by building through looking through the lens, exactly what you're seeing here.
And see his little bounce card too. You don't always,
it's a little there.
You can do a lot of the stuff with a couple of lights and bounce cards. Go out and get yourself some foam core or some paper or anything like that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Really cool.
Oh, is that on his kitchen table too, like you're mentioning, or his bar? It looks like.
Yeah, he shoots on his. I think he's still shooting on his kitchen table, or I don't know if he's got a new table for it or not. But he generally he told me he used to have to. Maybe he still does. This might be his TV room. I can see this TV's on a stand. I don't know that he's gone out and gotten the TV specifically for toy photography, but this may be his living room, and his family may be back here waiting to watch something on TV while he takes the shot. So,
are you done, Dad? Are you done?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's great. That's beautiful.
Great stuff, man. Great stuff.
Yep. Expect no.
I'd love to know what his lens was on this. I would love to know what his settings were. I don't think he generally puts the settings up. Oh, he's got them right here.
310. Yeah.
10.
We don't know the lens. It must be a longer lens though to get that.
It's got to be, right? Yeah.
Depth in the small. What am I? Angle of view.
Yeah, that face is great.
Yeah.
Jeez, I need that, man. That's cool. Company's got to give you more expression. That's a great looking head.
That is cool.
This is a nice looking figure.
That is really nice looking. Damn.
Right? Nicely done. I mean, Jason Michael, what can you say?
What can you say?
There you go. Godfather, loving the Godfather stuff. There's always a touch of whimsy Usually,
Yeah.
not always, but usually. That's great. I didn't see this one. Again, like this was another one that
That's
nearly
awesome.
made. I had
That's
this one
gorgeous.
selected,
Yep.
and then you selected the other one. I think I selected the other one too, and we both were like, "All right,
Yeah.
take this one." Great stuff. Love this too.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Yeah. So cool.
Very that's fantastic. Forgot about that one. That's great.
Yeah.
He's using the
Jason
Krigs.
wins the internet.
Somebody's
Time to
using
sell
the
my
Krigs.
camera.
I'm glad somebody's using the Krigs. That's great. There's a lot of humor in his stuff for sure.
Yeah. No. Oh, Jason. On a 50 mil. Okay. On the table, living room table.
On a separate table. Okay. 50 millimeter. Really?
Table
Okay.
50.
Interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that. Very cool. Yeah. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You're probably following him already, but if you're not, follow him.
Yep.
Follow him. Just follow him. Just do it. All right. Let me hide that. Oh, another $4.99 from Curtis. Thank you. Thank you, Curtis, for keeping the channel
making it
afloat.
rain over here.
Great show, guys. Thanks for the new accounts to follow. I love your passion for this stuff. Thanks, Curtis. I appreciate it. Thank you. I love your passion for the show too. I appreciate you repping it to everybody. All right. We got one more. Last one. Oh no, that's it. That was it. The next one is yours. So let's go back to yours.
Oh, okay.
There you go. That's it. That's everything we had. I mean,
Ta-da.
ending with Jesse Michael is a great thing, man, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
great. Get better than that. So there you go, man. I appreciate you being on. So, what
thanks
do you
for
got
the invite,
going
Trevor.
on? What do you got coming up? And
yeah,
I know you're selling prints on your website now.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. If anyone's interested, jessefphotography.com. You can see some of my widescreen stuff on full screen desktop. Yep, I'm starting to sell prints again. Just keeping busy. I pretty much I pretty much do a project every week. So every Wednesday, I'm usually posting something. Tuesday nights, I'll do a teaser. Wednesday nights, I'll post it. And then Thursday nights, I'll probably post like a behind the scenes reel or something like that.
Okay.
Stuff I got going on. Let's see, a couple things coming up. I'm actually on Sunday. I don't remember offhand. Sunday, March 24th. Yeah, Sunday, March 24th. I'm actually going to be on a show called Glenn Dewis Live. Glenn Dewis is an amazing portrait and landscape photographer and author and Photoshop instructor. You know Glenn?
Oh, I know him. Oh yeah.
Shit.
Hell yeah.
Oh no.
Oh wow.
Awesome.
Wow. I think I follow him. Holy cow. That's
great.
So
I'm going to be on Glenn's show on that Sunday at like 1:00 Central, I think. Cool. Sunday the 24th. And I'm going to be talking toy photography in front of an audience of quote unquote regular photographers, you might say. I don't know what you want to call it. Introducing toy to photography to a different crowd, basically, of other photographers. Right. So I'm really excited to do that. That's going to be a fun show, introducing people to this stuff. And then nothing's set in stone yet, but I talked to Ian, and I'm going to be on Ian's show in April, possibly. His new YouTube show, Fill the Frame. So we're going to attempt to do. He does live shoots basically on that show, and it's going to be a really fun. We're going to try to do a live shoot. We're going to set it up here, get a couple cameras, and we're just going to go through a shot. I'll probably have it pre-set up in the interest of time, but we'll set up some lights and we'll take some photos and adjust things and do a little bit of. I don't know if we'll get into Photoshop work due to time, but we'll definitely probably delve into Lightroom and do some basic raw process, color grading.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I kind of like do some of that. Like, I think I'm going to be on there at some point after that, but I'm either going to have it all set up and figured out before I go on there, or I'll try to wing it. I'll see if
I'm trying to think, like, how much do I pre-plan? I don't know. I kind of want to wing it. Just, I think it'd be helpful for people to see, like, it doesn't always work, but it'll be nice to see the mistakes that lead to the successes, I think. And who knows? We'll see what happens. It should
definitely
be really
some post-processing would be a good thing to do on there, but it's a great show. It's called,
Fill the Frame.
Fill the Frame. It's on you gotta subscribe because it's on randomly.
I don't think it's a set schedule.
He was trying to do it every Tuesday nights. Yeah, it was Tuesday nights. Kind of came on after Maz's show.
Oh, that's right. That's right. And I think there'll be a little bit of
like 8:00 or 8:30 or something.
Yeah, I think he's going to be on a little bit of a lull because his job doing concert lighting.
Yeah.
I think he's going to Europe for a month or something. So
Yep.
it'll be a little quiet on that. Is he in the chat still? He was earlier, wasn't he? I don't mean to speak
He
for
was
him,
earlier. I don't know if he is anymore.
but anyway, yeah, long story short. So
Cool.
I'll be joining.
That'll be
April,
fun,
I
man.
think. So that should be a really fun show. So other than that,
Nice.
just look for me, find me on social media. If you have any questions, feel free to ping me. I'm pretty much an open book and try to help as much as I can and answer questions. So
I gotta get you and Ian to like fill it. There's Ian. Oh, there he goes. I gotta get you and Ian to fill in for me on Maz's show or something when I can't make it, because
Oh yeah, I'd love to be on Maz's show again. That's a fun time.
They're talented balding guys, man. You gotta have
Exactly.
nobody will even know I'm gone. So yeah,
exactly. Get the hat, put a couple of 6 scales behind me, and
exactly. Dude, I really appreciate you coming on here. I know this is some work, and exactly. I know it's some work going through, and we struggled this month. We each had like probably 12 or 13 shots that we were trying to, and more, I think, at the first.
It was definitely a Sophie's choice of trying to nail that stuff down. There are a lot of
for sure.
The toy photography community has really upped their game lately. The past couple of years, it's been an upward hill. There, hey Ian. So
yeah, I mean, people are getting better. The people who are coming into it now have the benefit of looking at, like I said, behind the scenes for people and learning from the people who have done it before, and the tricks and the techniques, none of which we really invented, but we maybe modified from other things that were existing. But great to have everybody sharing, like Ian with his show, sharing their knowledge and helping people out, and it's working, man, because people are getting good. It's tough to keep up.
It really is. Yeah. Yes.
Tough to keep up. Jesse, thank you for being on, man. I appreciate it. I know it's a lot of work, and thank you everybody for sticking around. We had a lot of people here tonight. It's getting better and better. If you see something that we didn't see from last month and you want to give them a shout out, an account, put it in the comments, please. Let us know of an account we should be following. Tell them about Toy Photo Bomb. Tell them to follow it. Tell them to tag us, and maybe they'll be featured. You too. If you're in the chat and you think you got some good stuff there, tag us. Schmerber, thank you, man. Appreciate it. I will see all you guys in about a month. Not even sure who my guest is going to be in a month, but I'll let you know ahead of time. So take care, everybody. Have a good night. And
good night, everyone.
Have a great week. Bye.